Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back. It's been a while. I'm Nicole. Thank you for being here. I decided to do this YouTube video today after taking about a year hiatus because I have a topic that I really want to dive into. It's been coming up strongly in my field and also has been mirrored to me from the fields and life of others. And it's just a little bit too long to share on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, that is where I am more active, at Nicole Biscay over there on Instagram. But thank you for being here today and tuning in to this longer form message. I do feel that it's a really important message that so many of us are navigating in our own way, in our own lives, but not really talking about and feeling really alone in. And that is following an authentic career path. What is that? What does it look like? I think a lot of us know what that feels like and are trying to get our footing when it comes to living that and really embodying and owning an authentic career path. But to be honest, it can feel really overwhelming. And I speak from experience because I've been on this journey of trying and being really intentional about following an authentic career path. And it can be difficult because that path does not always look successful from the outside looking in. And for our ego, that's a really hard pill to swallow, to look like we're not successful in the ways that society has deemed or told us success is meant to be experienced. And that is usually in the form of making a lot of money, having a very high title in whatever corporate career you're in, and then being able to have a big house or all those fun external things, a nice car, the watch, the jewelry, whatever it is, those things have been considered success. And if you have them, then the societal standard says you're a successful person. But is that what success is? For me, I have learned through experience that no, it's not. Definitely can be, but maybe it's not the only thing. And that's what I've learned for myself. In order to feel successful, require a lot more than just a lot of money and some fancy things to show for it. Being successful really comes down to what we're feeling within our bodies. Are we content? Are we living a really meaningful, purposeful, fulfilling life that fills us up from the inside out and really is us living a happy life that feels in alignment for our whole being, which for me is a spiritual being, not just a human having a human experience, but a spiritual soul, if you will, having a human experience. And the soul, the spirit within us, is not necessarily content with those external things that deem success in the societal eye. So I want to dive into this, and if you're feeling anything similar, I want you to know that you're not alone and that you're probably going through this for a very important reason. And I think that many people are going through some sort of awakening right now, and I really am speaking to those of us that are in our 20s, maybe early 30s, and of course even older than that, but I speak from the places where I have been and where I am right now in saying that I myself and those around me, peers in my similar age group, I know are going through this internal battle of wanting to follow an authentic career path after moving through our own awakening and realizing that, you know what, life is about a whole lot more than just checking off those boxes on the societal checklist. And I want to live a life of meaning, of purpose, and of fulfillment. How can I do that? And what does that look like? And if you're feeling any of those things, you're in the right spot, because that is what we're diving into today. And that's just in general, really in line with the message that I am sharing and really passionate about bringing to the collective, is just how to live an authentically empowered life. And that brings me to an important point. Living an authentically empowered life includes following an authentic career path. But our career path is just one part of that life. We are here to live a full and complete life. And if we're basing our whole life on what we're doing as a career, we're missing a big part of the picture. And so let's start from that lens. We are here to live a full, meaningful life. We're here to do more than just work in order to live. And if we really want to embody that and own that, and make that the norm and the reality in our life, that requires making choices to live an authentic career path. There will be perceived ups and downs, for sure. There will be moments where you feel like everything's going right and you're following your heart, it's feeling good, it's going in flow. And then there will be moments where you feel like you're in a low. You feel like things aren't going right and it's getting really confusing. And I have learned through experience that that is all part of the process. Let me share some examples from my personal life. Hopefully this will allow it to make more sense. So when I graduated from college with a degree in human development and family studies, actually back up a little bit, that senior year when you have to do all of the internships and kind of test out the career that you're signing up for, I realized, oh my gosh, this is not for me. I don't feel like I'm really able to help people in this way. I feel like I'm trapped in a system that has a lot of rules and regulations, and my hands are basically tied on how I can help people. And my whole reason for choosing that major as a freshman was I want to help people. That's what I kept telling my advisors. And come to find out, this major just wasn't really the right way for me to do that. So I started questioning, well, what is the right way? And I started praying and I started visualizing and feeling what a more aligned option would feel like for me. And that is when I was presented with the opportunity to become a certified spiritual life coach. And I did that. And so I thought, this is it. I'm all in. I'm so excited about this. And it was the right choice for me in that moment. But fast forward then, after getting that certification and starting to build that practice, building out a whole website, starting to advertise to clients, taking on a lot of free sample clients to give people a taste of what I was offering. I was offered another opportunity to work for another organization and make social media content and work as a personal assistant and actually go abroad and help plan different spiritual events and gatherings. And in that moment, that was the right decision for me. So I had left the spiritual life coaching and transitioned into that other opportunity because it was presented to me at the right time when I needed to have that experience, and I don't regret it. And I had that experience and I thought, this is it. This is where I'm meant to be. This is what I'm meant to be doing. This is in alignment with my highest good. This is the career path for me. And fast forward then another couple years later, I had to leave that. I had to move on from that position, and it ended up not being the thing that I was meant to pursue for the rest of my life, but that didn't make it wrong. It just meant that I learned everything that I was meant to learn in that environment. But at the time, it felt discouraging and it felt like, what am I doing wrong? Why is nothing really working out? Why am I not able to follow through? And those were the questions coming from my logical mind and the part of me that was trained to be a good worker and to be successful by society's standards. But I've since learned through moving through all of these various experiences that those were all divinely meant to be for me to pick up the tools and experiences that I was meant to add to my tool belt, so to speak, so that I could move on and create what I'm meant to create. And it doesn't have to be one thing that you do for the rest of your life in order for you to have a successful career. It is okay if you ebb and flow and move through various expressions of your soul's purpose. So as a spiritual life coach, one of the things that I learned and really hung on to throughout all of the transitions in my life is that our dharma, which is a Sanskrit word, is our soul's purpose. But our dharma is not meant to only be expressed in one way, in the form of a job, for example. Our dharma can be expressed in many different ways, and it can be experienced in a multitude of areas and expressions, and all of those are our soul's purpose. All of those are us living our soul's purpose. It doesn't have to be one thing in particular, because we are multifaceted beings. And really, when you think about it, how boring is it to think that you have to choose one thing to do for all of your days? That is an old and outdated way of thinking and viewing life. So then after that experience where I was working overseas and planning those events, I ended up doing social media management for a while and working for other businesses, holistic, different practitioners and offices and clinics. And then I transitioned again and again. And you see, all of these things were me trying on different ways of expressing my soul's purpose, of helping people and of raising consciousness and to bringing light to the world. None of them were wrong. None of them were a waste of time. They were all experiences on my path. So this is the first thing that I just really want to highlight to you and remind you of, is that you don't have to pigeonhole yourself. You don't have to pick one thing to do for the rest of your life in order to have a successful career path. And living an authentic life, an authentically empowered life, and then also having an authentic career path gives you the freedom to step outside of all those boxes. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be easy, but it means that you are following the pull that is guiding you from within your heart. And a lot of times that's where people get stuck, is that they feel that pull in their heart that they don't want to be doing whatever it is that they're doing any longer. They're tired of their job, they're burnt out, they're no longer excited about doing it, but they stay anyways because they feel like they're trapped or they've already, committed. But that is the trap. And if you can allow yourself out of that, if you can give yourself permission to choose differently, to do differently, to live a life that is different, you ultimately create a different world around you. Because the more of us that are doing this, that are living an authentic career path and are living in alignment and in truth to who we are and what our hearts and our souls are calling us to do, we not only free ourselves, but we free those around us by giving them permission, so to speak, through example. And this has also been the case in my life. By seeing other people who chose differently and are living an untraditional path, I gained the courage and the confidence to try it out for myself. So you can be that person for someone else if you choose differently, if you choose to set yourself free. So not only is it important for us to choose differently, but it's also important for us to stop comparing ourselves to others, because we are not meant to live the life that anyone else is living. We have been given this life to live it in the way that is unique to us. No one is a carbon copy of someone else, so why are you trying to make yourself into one? By you trying to compare yourself to someone else and measure yourself up to someone else, you're always going to fall short because you're never going to be a carbon copy of them. And that's okay. That's actually perfect. You're meant to be your own expression of the divine. That is the magic that you hold and why you are here, living this human experience to share that magic with the world. So go inwards and start feeling what your heart is calling you to do versus thinking and trying to make decisions from the place of your mind and logic. That is really the key to living an authentic career path, to feel what your heart is calling you to do, because no one else can feel your heart. Someone else can tell you what to do from the place of their mind, and you might logically think, yeah, that's a good idea. And you might get into it and you might feel, content for a little while, but it's not really lighting you up. It's not really making you feel fulfilled from within. And that's because it didn't come from a place of your authentic self. It didn't come from the place of your heart and your soul. It came from someone else, an outside source. So it's really about turning our awareness inwards and hearing what God, source, prime creator, your higher self, whatever word you want to put on it, is calling you to do. That is following an authentic career path, no matter how it looks from the outside looking in, no matter how many perceived ups and downs there are, no matter how someone else may be measuring your success. None of that matters. All that matters is that you are following the voice that lives within you, because from that place, you will be fulfilled. You will start feeling the life that you were living versus just thinking about the life that you were living. So often we think, I want a nice car, I want a nice house, I want to have a family, I want to have a partner, I want to. And we get stuck in that loop of chasing. So we work a job to earn enough money to someday do those things. But living an authentic career path is really more about living in each now moment, following what feels good right here, right now, following your excitement, because you never know how those things can unfold. And that's what I did. When I chose to let go of my coaching and to take the job that was offered to me, it opened so many doors for me and helped me to see deeper aspects of myself that I would not have had the opportunity or the right environment to recognize elsewise. So you never know what is right around the corner if you don't choose to follow what feels good. You may be surprised by just following what excites you from within. You are dropped, like it feels like something is just dropping out of thin air and giving you a new opportunity, a new door to walk through, one that your mind never could have logically arrived at because it doesn't exist from that place. It only exists from the place of your heart and your soul, leaving you those breadcrumbs and leading you down a path that is so much greater than anything else that you can come up with from the place of your mind or from looking outwards at someone else's life. All of those things are already taking place. They are already being lived by someone else. You really desire to live the life that you are meant to live, the life that is going to light you up from within. So turn inwards. Look, don't even look, feel into what your beautiful heart is guiding you towards, and have faith and courage. It really also comes down to having enough faith and courage to make the leaps of faith and to take those steps forward that your gut, that your heart, that your intuition is calling you to. If you don't courageously step forward into those things, you'll always be sitting on the sidelines of your own life, wondering, what if? What could have been? And what's really the worst that can happen? You try something out and you realize it's not for you. You're not stuck there. You're not chained there. You're allowed to pivot. You're allowed to choose differently. So be brave enough to look different in a world of carbon copies and to choose different based on what feels right in your heart, and to ultimately create a world around you that looks different than the one that is leaving you feeling unsatisfied anyways. You've got this, beautiful soul. I believe in you. We're in this together. You are making the world a better place by following the light that lives within you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon.